Welcome to Playwrights Roundtable. I'm Erica Cotton, and this is our roundtable, where we review one-act plays, original one-act plays by Central Florida playwrights, and then we get a chance to talk with them afterwards. And with me today is Tony Sterling, the writer of Dina's Funeral. We're going to check that play out and come back and have a little chit-chat with Tony, so stay with us, relax and enjoy Dina's Funeral.
We're at the funeral home for Dina's showing.
What's she showing?
She's not showing anything. She's laid in a casket for for friends and family to come see her before she's buried in 2 days.
Who's Dina?
She's your granddaughter, Joey's oldest daughter.
Who's Joey?
Your oldest son.
Is he still in high school?
Ma, he graduated about 22 years ago.
Please, be a little patient with your mother. Sometimes I forget things. Someday you'll get old and you'll see how smart you are.
I know, I'm sorry. I should be more patient.
You gotta remember, I have that Alka-Seltzer disease. You know, you don't remember so good.
I know. Dad died of that disease 2 years ago.
Your father's dead?
Yes.
How'd he die?
He stopped breathing.
Your father was always so healthy.
Ma, you haven't seen Dad in more than 20 years.
I remember he went to work one day and he never came back.
So you do remember then?
How could I forget? He ran off with some cripple after being married for 37 years.
I have no explanation.
What did he see in her? I heard she was missing a foot.
Where'd you hear that?
Your sister told me, I think.
No, I don't think so. His wife, Patricia, had
You
both...
knew her?
Well, yeah, I talked to her on the phone whenever I called Dad, and I met her a couple times.
How come you never told me?
I did tell you several times.
Are you calling me a liar, your own mother?
I'm not calling you a liar, but perhaps you may have forgotten.
How could I forget? He leaves me for a crippled woman. I had 3 kids.
All of your kids were grown with their own families, Ma. Furthermore, she had both feet. She just had polio as a child. It left her left leg shorter than the right.
How is it you know so much about this lousy woman who took my husband away?
She was not a lousy person.
She took him away and left me alone all my life.
You chose to be alone. You never got out of the house.
Yes, I did. Once a month, I went to the casino on the bus with the church.
What a great place to socialize, in front of a slot machine.
There you go again, making fun of your old mother, the one who brought you into this world and sent you to school.
I'm grateful for everything you've done for me, Mom.
Now, who's Donna and where are we?
Dina is your granddaughter. She's been killed in a car accident.
You mean she's dead?
Yes, that's why she's in a coffin and will be buried in 2 days.
Why didn't you tell me?
I did tell you many times.
Don't get so snooty with me. I just forget a little.
I know you forget, so I repeat it, but you still get offended.
Well, I just hope your father and that crippled woman don't show up.
That crippled woman had a name, Patricia.
How is it you know so much about her?
All I know is her name.
Well, I don't want to see them.
You won't. They're both dead.
You mean they're in coffins too?
No, they died 2 years ago. Let's go pay our respects to Dina.
Who's Dina?
I'm so sorry for your loss, brother.
Why did you bring Ma? She's got no idea what's going on.
I thought it appropriate to bring our mother to say goodbye to her granddaughter.
You think too much. That's your problem.
Is this the proper place to vent your anger?
What makes you think you always got the right answer, huh?
Joey, why are you being so foolish? Your brother is doing his best to pay respects to your dead daughter.
Ma, you don't even remember my daughter.
How you disrespect your mother. I'll be 90 years old. I can't remember everything.
Ma, all you ever did for the last 25 years was complain about why your husband left you for another woman.
You mean a cripple with no feet?
She had both feet but limped. Her name was Patricia.
I don't care what her name is. If she had 3 feet, she was a whore who stole a man from his family.
She didn't steal him away. He went of his own free will. The man was a loser. He chased women his whole life.
How do you know that, Joey?
Because he fondled my aunt when she was 16. I saw it myself. I wanted to kill that pervert.
Is that why you always hated him so much, Joey?
I told him to his face that when he died, I would come to his funeral just to spit in his mouth.
Your father was a good man. He was in the Knights of Columbus, and he did volunteer work at the hospital.
Ma, the man went to church to hit on the women saying prayers and cleaning up.
Are you sure of that?
I saw him when I went to choir practice. He even tried it with the girls in the choir.
How come you never told us?
I was so ashamed, and I had to protect my family.
Is that why you enlisted in the Army?
I enlisted to make up for my father, who never served his country, because he had an affair with the woman recruiter.
Ma, is that true?
Is what true?
That Dad slept with the recruiter to get out of the draft.
I don't know. Edna came to dinner a few times. I thought she was a nice person.
So you knew about her?
I do not know anything. Your father said that she kept him out of the service because he had a wife and 3 children.
What is the sense of digging up all this dirt, huh? The man is dead and rotting in his grave. I hope he burns in hell. He deserves it.
Hey, have some respect for your father.
Who the heck are you to tell me what to do, huh?
I'm your older sister. Show some respect for your father, or at least for your dead young daughter.
Since when does a tramp like you tell me what to do?
Who's the tramp? Dina?
What? Dina was an angel, Ma.
I thought she was a child.
She is a child, but she was always an angel, and now she's a real angel.
Then who's the tramp?
My sister, Cynthia.
Who's she?
Your daughter, who sleeps with all the bums from Alcoholics Anonymous trying to save their souls.
You make it sound degrading.
Joey, what are you so hard on everybody for? I mean, we came to pay respects to your daughter, not to be put down.
Oh, great wise man. Is that your advice?
Shouldn't we be praying together? What do you...
I want you to kiss my beautiful daughter.
Your daughter's a corpse!
Oh, is that what you think?
In a word, yes.
You should be ashamed of yourself. She's your niece.
Yeah, well, I'll throw up on her if I have to kiss her.
Kiss who?
Dina!
Who's Dina?
She's my daughter, Ma. Why can't you understand?
Wait till you're my age. I raised you, Joey, and you have no respect for your mother.
Ma, he's not himself today.
Oh, I am myself. I just don't have any patience today.
By the way, Joey, well, how did the young girl die?
In a car accident.
Was she drinking or using drugs?
Ma, how could you ask such stupid questions?
Why are they so stupid?
Because she was pure, virgin, innocent.
Then what happened?
She had just gotten home from band camp. She was going to the mall with her mother in our new van.
Joey, please, you don't have to go through this.
Yes, he does. It is closure, and it will clear his mind.
Dina was driving. She stopped and got out so she could direct her mother into the parking space.
Was anybody else in the van?
Yes. Dina's friend.
It's a big deal. She parked the car.
Ma, please, let him finish.
As her mother was switching seats, she hit the gear shift with her knee.
That's because she's so fat.
Not now, Ma.
Isn't that the truth?
It is the truth, Ma. That car shot forward. She killed my precious baby. She murdered my beautiful girl.
So sorry, Joey.
Sorry? You're my brother, and you bailed her out of jail.
It was an accident.
It was murder. Who can forgive her?
I can.
You forgive everybody. What do you think, Ma?
About what?
About my wife murdering my baby.
Your wife murdered whose baby? Well, shame on her. I thought she was a good person.
She is a good person, Ma. This was a terrible, terrible accident.
Well, if this was an accident, why don't we go to the hospital?
Dina was killed in the accident. That's why we're in a funeral home.
Who's Dina?
Your granddaughter.
Who are you?
I really enjoyed that. It was, it had a sense of humor about it, but I almost feel like there were some very serious undertones about it too. It was almost as if they were inspired by by real-life events. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about that.
Sure.
Right after we get back from the break, we will have a conversation with Tony Sterling about Dina's funeral. Stay with us.
As her mother was switching seats, she hit the gear shift with her knee.
That's because she's so fat.
Not now,
Well, isn't that the truth?
It is the truth, Ma. That car shot forward. She killed my precious baby. She murdered my beautiful girls.
You've just watched a clip from Dina's funeral, a one-act play for Playwrights Roundtable, which allows playwrights the opportunity to present their original works here in Central Florida. And with me I have Tony Sterling, the writer for Dina's funeral.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for sharing your play with us. What were your inspirations behind Dina's funeral?
Dina's funeral is actually true. There was no real inspiration. It was actually about my niece, and she was killed in a car accident, just as I depicted in the play, by her mother. And the inspiration came to me in the middle of the night. I woke up and I knew I had to write it down, and I did. I wrote the whole thing in one time, closed it up, and went back to sleep, and never looked at it again. When they asked me to present it at the workshop for the Playwrights Roundtable, I opened it back up, and it was read just the way I wrote it. So what you see when you came to see the play is all original, nothing edited, nothing changed. I am in the play myself because at the time when the accident occurred, I received a phone call. I was living in Connecticut where I was practicing orthopedics, and the phone call came through that my niece had been accidentally killed, and I couldn't take that. So I called my wife, who's a nurse. We have 7 children, and I immediately called my brother, who was in jail, and I was like, what are you doing in jail? And he said to me, well, they arrested my wife, and I had a fight with the police. I said, John, you really in jail? Yes, I'm in jail. I said, well, I'm going to call my office, cancel all my office hours, and I'm coming out there to help you. And I did. We drove out to Long Island, where the accident occurred, where my brother lives, and I assumed complete responsibility for everything because my brother just couldn't do anything. And what you see is actually what occurred. And I'm in the play. My brother is in the play, my mother, and my sister. And you hear actually everything that was said, almost word for word. So, and I felt really good about that because I think that that needed to be said.
What's that experience like, writing something so true to the heart and then watching it, experiencing it done by characters in a stage play? What's that experience like?
There's nothing like it in the world. I thought that I would be prepared because I've seen horrendous things in all the years I was practicing. I practiced in Connecticut, affiliated with Yale University for 28 years, and thought I had seen it all, but never had the feeling that I had when I actually saw something that I had written put on a stage and people liking it and appreciating what I said. Because I'm not a writer. I had never done anything like that before. I had written articles for orthopedics and had them published and spoke before the American Academy and other organizations, but never in an atmosphere where people came to see me. It was almost the same as though when you hang up a shingle and there's your name on it and you're not like a hospital or a medical center, people are coming to see you, an individual physician. So they were coming to see me to hear what I had to say, and there is no way or words that I can describe exactly how I felt. I was like in the clouds. And I just was so appreciative of these people coming there and sitting. And then after the play, when they came up to me and they told me how much they appreciated it, it even had a greater effect on me. So I said, there's hope for me.
Why did you bring Ma? She's got no idea what's going on.
I thought it appropriate to bring our mother to say goodbye to her granddaughter.
You think too much. That's your problem.
Is this the proper place to vent your anger?
What makes you think you always got the right answer, huh?
Joey, why are you being so foolish? Your brother is doing his best to pay respects to your dead daughter.
Ma, you don't even remember my daughter.
How you disrespect your mother. I'll be 90 years old. I can't remember everything.
I was reading your bio when I attended, and it says that you gave up the scalpel for a pin and never looked back.
Correct.
So you were an orthopedic surgeon.
Yes.
For how many years?
Well, counting my residency and internship and all that, at least for 35 years. Actually practicing solo practitioner for 28. And then when it was time for me to retire, I retired at a very early age. I was only 57. And I came down to Florida. And I picked Orlando because, one, it's a very active intellectual community, especially with the art, the world of art and entertainment. I had originally, my wife and I had gone out to Las Vegas, because I think Las Vegas is an incredible place. And I went to Scottsdale, Arizona to look there, but I like Orlando. I think that the people here appreciate the theater. I've done a movie on my own for the Enzian Theater, the Brouhaha Festival, and the annual cinema. But I had never written a play, and the people here are very, very receptive. And believe it or not, if you attend different things, which I do, the vast majority of people who go to plays and the theater and write are senior citizens. And that like freaked me out, because when I lived in New York City, where I was born, I used to live in Greenwich Village. I was born in Little Italy and attended the Black Theater and the Theater of the Absurd, and read my poetry in the coffee shops on Bleecker Street and so on and so forth. So, but it was young people. I'd never experienced the theater and entertainment where 99% of the people, even at Mad Cow Theater, I went to Mad Cow, I always go there. And it's like, if you see anything but white or gray hair, it's like a special evening. And at least 99% of the people there are senior citizens. And it opens my heart to these people, because they haven't given up on life, you know. And when I was doing orthopedics and I did a lot of joint replacements on senior citizens, people think that senior citizens have one foot in the grave and they have buzzards and angels flying around their heads. They're just waiting to die, and they're not waiting to die down here. They're active. They go to the theater. They go to dance. They're members of Writers Club, and I think that's such a tremendous thing to see. And I'm happy to be part of it, because I'm a senior citizen.
That's wonderful. As a new playwright, do you have any words of inspiration for someone who may just have a vision or an idea of something that they want to see produced, but they've never written a play before? I mean, you are a testament to that.
Yes. I do not write for profit or money. I write only when I'm inspired, and if you read what I wrote in that. It's 99. You know, people talk about inspiration and perspiration. Well, there's no perspiration here at all. I'm very relaxed. I don't pound away at a typewriter or a computer at all. I only write when something wakes me up in the middle of the night. I write it all by longhand, and then have somebody type it for me. So the advice that I give to people who come to our writers group is just write. Sit down and write. You know, whatever you want to write about. If it's about recipes and your family, that's fine. It doesn't have to be, you know, this monumental stuff about people dying or living or anything like that. And I truly stand behind my word. I think you write what you feel. If you're a professional writer, you may look at it differently than us amateurs who write from the heart. And that's all I write for. And I will continue to do that. And again, the reason I write fact is I haven't been in this business long enough to know how to write fiction. I only write about what I know, and that's related to family and the practice of orthopedics that I did for 28 years.
Now that you've had a chance to write for Playwrights Roundtable, and you are clearly very much into the arts community here,
Yes.
what are some of your other goals for this area? Anything else you want to present?
Yes, I think that the Playwrights Roundtable has been around for 10 years, and I'm not really sure how much they're appreciated. And since I've become a member in the last year or so, my goal is to have an infusion of money put into the Playwrights Roundtable. I'm working on trying to get them their own venue, a place where they could put on their plays, and where people will come and appreciate the hard work that was put into this. I never appreciate it. You know, when you go to a theater or I go to a Philharmonic or I go to a movie, I look at it and I sit there and I'm entertained. I never realized the amount of work, how much people actually work to get something from a piece of paper and put it on the stage. And I don't know if the people who come to watch really appreciate that. And I'd like to get people to appreciate that. For example, we have 2 daughters in Connecticut that work, they're social workers. And I was looking in my mind to find out, you know, what people are interested in. So I asked one of them if I could come to talk to some of their clients. So my wife and I went with one of our daughters to a place where these boys are not exactly behind bars, but are behind bars. They're teenagers who have been convicted of crimes. And I went there just to talk to them, just to see what they have to say. And the first thing they said to me is, you know, you're not here, you don't care about me. Yeah, I do care about you. And they said, why do you care about me? I said, because I was born in a ghetto, in a slum. My brother was in the Hells Angels, and I was one of the junior members. And I know what it is to be in the gang life. And I know what it is to hunt people down in my territory. Then they changed their opinion. They were willing. You really are interested in talking to, you know, us? Yeah, I'm interested in talking to you. And one of them said to me, do you know what I'm here for? I said, no, I don't. Why don't you tell me? He said, well, I was there the day that my father threw gasoline on my mother and set her on fire and then stabbed her to death. I said, you have something to say. Would you write about it? He said, would you listen to me if I wrote about it? And I said, try me. I came back and I went home and I said, I think I was a complete failure there. The next thing I know is I get a letter and it's a story from this boy. He wrote it and I published it. I published it in a book called Seeds of Genius and sent him 25 copies, which he proudly gave to all of his friends and his family. Does that happen often? No. It was an opportunity for me to communicate with somebody on my own level, and I did. And I think that we could do things like that here in Central Florida, but how to do it, I don't know yet. You know, there I had a connection, our daughters. Here I'm doing it on my own. So I'm trying to raise the Playwrights Roundtable another rung, sort of like Emeril Lagasse, you know, bam, you know, get this thing going. And but you need money. And they have
Yes.
very little money, so I'm trying to do something, get doctors that I know, friends, to help donate money for a good cause. And I haven't had the experience, but I'm willing to learn, and I'm going to try my darndest to do it. So here we are.
Well, I'm sure Playwrights Roundtable appreciates your wholehearted efforts in putting the word out about the organization, and I appreciate your coming here today and sharing a human story that you turned into a piece of art. That's what you did. That's exactly what you did. I look forward to seeing more of your work.
I hope so.
I have a feeling you've got more stories in there.
Okay.
I can tell.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony, for
You're
joining
welcome.
me today. And thank you for joining us on Playwrights Roundtable. We'll see you again soon. Playwrights Roundtable provides opportunities for authors to have their work read by professional actors. Members of Playwrights Roundtable have seen their works go from cold readings to workshop productions and on to successful full productions. If you love the craft, Playwrights Roundtable is the place. For more information, contact Playwrights Roundtable at 407-788-8468 or check out the website www.playwrightsroundtable.org.